Hi Year 9. Today is lesson 4 on representing data. Today we will be learning about sound files, and the aim of today's lesson is to learn how sound input can be transferred and created into an audio file or a sound file. Again, you'll be using the Teach ICT website and will use the logins provided in your class description. This lesson will build upon previous lessons, so if you haven't done those lessons yet, please do those before this one, as the starter in today's lesson will involve a recap on last lesson. So, without further ado, open the starter document below this video. The name of the starter is called Consider All Reasons. Moving on to the next slide. Okay, you can just miss this slide altogether because you won't be able to work in pairs. But this is the important one. I want to design a new logo for my parents' business. I have decided to use a vector rather than a bitmap graphic. Now this recaps on last lesson, so you have to consider why it's good and bad to use a vector rather than a bitmap graphic. So what I want you to do in a new document or on a piece of paper, I want you to write down 3 reasons why it's good to use a vector rather than a bitmap graphic, and 3 reasons why it's bad to use a vector rather than a bitmap graphic. Okay, so 3 positives and 3 negatives for this task. Once you've completed, take a photo and add it to your hand-in box. And that's your starter. So, next, after you've logged into the pupil resources for lesson 4 using the logins in the assignment, I need you to work through this whole page. There is a video to watch, and you need to watch it all to carry out the rest of the tasks on this page. In your heads, you can answer the questions on the cards and then flip the cards to see if you got the right answers. There are 18 in total, so use the arrows to move forward. After that task, you need to test yourself by putting all these statements in order by moving them around. Now I will post the answers along with this assignment so you can check they are in the right order, because you need the right order for the next task. Read the instructions and take a clean piece of paper and fold it 3 times in half so you get 8 equally sized boxes. So that's half, half and half again. You need to use diagrams and symbols to create a guide to explain how sound files are created and stored. So, like road signs, you need to use images to convey your message of how each of these works to an alien. Then, if you want, you can use the internet to find out how amplitude affects the quality of sound files and find out how the term hertz applies to sound sampling. That is an extension task right here. The next task, the Correct the Teacher Sound Files task, asks you to find 20 mistakes in the volume of text provided. Now, don't go to town on this because it's a lot of work. So, I'm going to give you 5 minutes to find as many mistakes as you can and correct them in green, and the answers will be out later this evening. The last task you need to do today is called 100 words sound files. Now this is quite an important task because this will build upon everything you have watched, learned, and all the tasks you've done in today's lessons. And what I want you to do is in 100 words you need to describe the topic of sound files that we've discussed today. It has to be 100 words exactly, but I'm not going to argue if you're minus 10. So it's 90 plus words. If you can manage 100, very well done. And as soon as I'm back in school, I will try and put some positives onto Sims. That is today's lesson, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and if there are any issues about the lesson or about the work, let me know, as I will be on live during your lesson. See you soon, guys.